I'm super excited on another episode of Administration with Nancy. On this show, I bring in guests to tell us about their experiences, in the administration and management and in the education space. And I am your girl, Nancy Ekpezu, and I am the lead consultant at Pezu Smith Consulting, a firm that focuses on helping you to build your administrative and management structure so that you stay sustainable. So we do startup for schools and we recruit, we also mentor and coach, we train on various administration and management issues and topics. And you can check our website, my website, www.nancyekpezu.com, to see the amazing work that my organization and myself are currently doing. So remember www.nancyekpezu.com. And I'm the author of this amazing book, The School Administrator's Companion and the Dear Educator. And you can order them right there on my website. They're also available on Amazon. They're available on Roving Heights online bookstores. They're available on Warrital Books. So that is a bit about me. I will not be talking too much about myself here, but please make sure that you visit my website, www.nancyekpezu.com, to see what I do. And guess what? Today I have with me an amazing guest all the way from Benin City, Nigeria. Actually, I spotted Ogaga Omoovie in 2017, I think, when he joined my group, the Educational Administration Network, and I saw the zeal with which he went about volunteering to be an admin on the group and how much he did to network with people right there. And recently, I have spotted him with some really high-profile individuals, and I do know that it takes good networking skills to have those kind of people in your network. I've seen the likes of Shola Ajani of the School of Consulting at his event, and it struck me that he must have some really great networking skills to be able to attract this kind of people into his network. And so today we'll be talking about the networking skills for professionals and managers. Networking skills for professionals and managers. But let me tell you a bit about Omoovie or Gaga. So Mr. Ogaga Omoovie is a human capital development and education consultant, and he's a chief learning officer of Process and Paradigms Consulting, which is actually a knowledge company with a mandate to build the dreams of people, corporate organizations, and nations. He's also the founding executive director of Mind Power African Initiative for Leadership and Educational Space. And he's a lawyer by training and also an educator. And he's also the pioneer dean at Teens Leadership and Business School. He's happily married to an amazing woman, Stephanie, and they reside in Benin City, and they have a great kid, a son who celebrated his birthday recently. And so I welcome you to the show, Ogaga Omoovie. Thank you so much for being here. So we'll go right away. Remember, the topic is networking skills for managers and professionals. Networking skills. We cannot undermine the importance of networking. I personally know what networking has done for me as a professional and recently as a business person, as an entrepreneur. So Omoovie Ogaga is going to share his personal experience with networking, what it has done for him and everything. Ogaga Omoovie, can you say hello to the audience?
A very wonderful morning to everyone. Thank you so much, Nancy Ekpezu, for this rare privilege and honor. I appreciate you for it. I don't take for granted, and I look forward to an exciting time with you here. Thank you so much.
Okay, so Mobi, I've been watching your growth, and it's so exciting to see all of the amazing things that you're doing. And what interests me very much about you is that you're actually not in Lagos, which is the hub of activities, okay? But you're actually in Benin, but you've been able to pull into your circle a whole lot of people that I would consider high profile and high net worth individuals. So, what really prompted you to take on the challenge of networking? Would you want to share that?
Okay. Thank you so much, Nancy, once again for this opportunity. And networking is a very, very powerful tool for advancement. Now, people are portals to progress. If you want to make advancement in life, you must understand the people connection. You can't do so much on your own. No matter how intelligent, no matter how gifted you are going to need people. And I understood quite early. My initial training, I'm trained as a lawyer. I was called to the Nigerian bar on November 2008, and so I'm 13 years post call as a lawyer with a master's degree. But I have this knack and love for education, and not just education, but also for seeing organizations develop and get better. And I knew that my principal training would not suffice to take me far. And it's a good enough to read books. You can read books, you can watch videos, but it can't take the place of human connection. Now, no matter how much of books you have read, I have quite a number of books on the subject area that I am currently working on. But I will tell you that I've made more progress with just meeting some individuals. And networking is so powerful. You can't talk, you can't over talk on it. You can't overemphasize it. I would say that having to move not just from law. I am still a lawyer. I still do what all lawyers do, just that I now focus on providing my services also to people in the education space. And I can't do all of that with just legal education. I now have to meet with people like Nancy, people like Tony, people like Mrs. Shola Okunpolo, and a number of persons that are doing so well in their own space. And so I can leverage on the knowledge they also have. So that's my reason. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So I've spotted you at events in Lagos, and I know recently you were in Abuja to speak at an event organized for educators. So what would you say that networking has really done for you? What are the benefits you've enjoyed from networking?
Okay, I would say not. I don't want to sound like a motivational speaker because Nigerians are somehow wary of motivational speakers. But I would say your network determines your net worth. How far you fly is dependent on the people that you have around your space. Now, number one thing networking will do for you, it will bring you into the circle of great minds. Networking will bring you into the circle of very great minds. Networking is also a portal to profit. Now, just imagine what you mentioned, that someone was on your show the other time and she had just got a job in Abuja, courtesy of networking with Nancy Ekbezu. So if you do not network, you are limited in time, you are limited in space. So networking will lead to profit. Number three, networking will help you to grow. Networking will help you grow as a professional. There are things I know today, not because I read them in a book, but because I was privileged to be in the space of some persons. Just this year, I was at some events in Lagos, and if I saw it in a book, I'm not sure I will be able to have gleaned so much. I was at some events in Lagos and Abuja and some in Benin, and they were learning moments for me. In fact, some people wonder how I plan my events. I don't reinvent the wheel. Of course, some things are novel for me, but I am able to polish what I do because I have seen. I was at Middle Hall some time ago, and I learned a few things in their training. I was at Cyber Consulting Services today, and I also learned a few things in that training. So I would say networking will help you as a professional to grow. Then again, networking will also help you to see life from a different perspective. You know, when you are in your own world, you just feel that everything is just as you see. Life is bigger than this place. Life is bigger than Benin. Life is bigger than Lagos. Life is bigger than Abuja. Now, being on your show right now, I've learned. In fact, I'm admiring your background, and I'm sure after now I'll ask you some questions about it. So networking will make you see life beyond your space, and networking will also help you to shed bad habits. When you network, you know, I'm a lover of Jesus, and I love the scriptures. It's a he that walks with the wise of the wise. A companion of fools becomes a destruction. So if I'm friends with Nancy, for example, and Nancy is well-mannered, Nancy is well-behaved, Nancy speaks well, it will rub off. That's how life works. It will definitely rub off. And ditto for if I am friends with a criminal, it will also rub off. So networking will help you to shed bad habits and bad behavior. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much. I like that part where you said, you know, a companion of, if you work with the wise, you become wise. And that it also brings you in the circle of people that you ordinarily might not meet in your, you know, day-to-day life. I recall doing a program organized by Lanre Olushola. And of course, when you hear the name Lanre Olushola, he's really a high network individual in Nigeria. And he was just impressed at how I conducted myself during the coaching certification program. And I remember when I wrote my first book, Dear Educator, and told him about it, he just said, boom, I'm so proud of you, Nancy. That is so good. And I just whispered, I said, I have a request to make, sir. Would you want to write the foreword for me? He said, anything for you, Nancy. You're really amazing. And you know, there are some people who have bought that book just because they saw Larry Olishola's name on my book, The Educator. I remember when I took it to the bookshop, Roving Heights online bookstores. Since it was my first book, they didn't know me. They didn't know whether to accept the book or not when I told them I was bringing my book. But I recall that as soon as the manager saw, you know, forward by Larry Olushola, the catalyst, she just said, oh, wow, Larry Olushola wrote the forward for your book. And I said, yes, he did. Immediately, she just entered it right there and, you know, put it on the shelf. And that was how my book began to be sold on Roving online bookstores. And so I can also say that I've been challenged by a few people I've met in my network, you know, and it was through networking too that I decided to start the Educational Administration Network. It was an idea that I got at a networking event, you know. So we can't really overemphasize the importance of networking. It is just so important, so vital to any manager, to any professional, to any individual at all, whether you're a pastor, whether you're an administrator, whether you're a front desk officer, a school owner, there's always a network somewhere that will add value to your life. And I urge you that look out for it, okay? And just like you have great networks, there are also bad networks that could pull you down. Just like you said that, you know, a companion of the wise will be wise, but a companion of fools, you know, they will only offer you what they have. So what we are saying is to be a bit more intentional about networking, because the truth is we all have our network, whether we say so or not, or whether we realize or not. But the issue is, what kind of network do you have? Are you intentional about it? Are you mindful of the people you allow in your space? Do you even take it up as a challenge to go looking for the right people to be in your network? Okay, so thank you so much for sharing, Omoovie Ogaga. Okay, so what skills do you really think? Good, you've been able to network, but you see, I believe that it takes some kind of skills to be able to network effectively. So what kind of skills do you think have really helped you to develop your networking, to have effective networking?
Thank you so much, Nancy, for this question. Networking is, like I mentioned, it's a great tool for advancement. And some of the skills you need to get proficient with networking are these. Number one, you will need a lot of people skills. You must have relational skills. You know, one of the things I learned early is that people do not give to need, people give to vision. Now, if you want a person to be your friend, don't go about begging. You know, sometimes it's so funny that some of these high-profile individuals get people, send them DM, and all people, the person they're asking for is, I want 5,000, I want 10,000, I want 100,000, my rent is due, or I have one thing, and that sends people far from you. So you need a lot of relational skills. Understand that just as you have needs, this person also has needs. When I meet a person online, I appreciate you for the good job. Of course, I've been following you. I appreciate you for the good job you have been doing. I celebrate your work, and most times I will buy your product. I must buy your product. I must show that I'm interested in you first. You mentioned seeing Dr. Ajani in my event. I saw the event online, and at that time I didn't have money to come to Lagos. Well, I told myself, this is an event. I like this man. I like the School of Consulting. I'm training to be a consultant. Why don't I get extra knowledge? I got money, got to the next available flight, and Lagos, here I come. The moment I entered that training room, I was rectified, and I quickly connected with him. Not for what I could just gain. So if he has a course, I'm taking the course. He has a program, I'm taking, and then also I reach out. How are you, sir? How are you doing? How's everything? How's family? And we just talk. And so when I had my own event, I just reached out like you did to Ogaga, as I would say. And then boom, he was willing to come to Benin. And funny enough, that was his first time in Benin City.
Wow.
He was coming to Benin for the first time.
That you brought him to Benin for the first time.
So, but just imagine I just sit back here in Benin and I just put a call, please sir, can you come to Benin? There will be a lot of congestion. There will be a lot of bottleneck. Even if I'm going to play XYZ, people will not want to come to a space, they not come to, if they don't know you. The same thing happened to me with my education father. Today is his birthday, Mr. Akin Benjamin. I met him online too. And I like, okay, good and fine, come to Benin. I also want to Benin for the first time. So what am I saying? You will need a lot of relational skills. Don't go begging. Don't go asking. Look for ways to serve. Look for ways to contribute. And like the Bible says, if you give, it shall be given back to you. Now, so that's one. Then two, you should have a lot of good communication skills. When I will say this year, I was 3 years ago, I went online and I saw this wonderful, beautiful woman, Miss Carol Ballo. And I said, oh, wow, after going through her profile, I would love to see this person. And I sent her a message. She didn't respond. In fact, I told her in Abuja last time we met that I sent her a message. It took you 3 years to respond. I said, I was testing you. You know, I was texting you, you know, and I spoke politely, and we started building the connection gradually. I sat in Benin one day. I said, girl, can you come to Abuja, come and do a session for me? And she was meeting me for the first time. Like I said in the training, Carol has never heard me speak, but we have built connection over time that she was comfortable in asking me to come to speak in our event. So you need a lot of proper communication skills. You should master the art of communication. Don't just go in somebody's DM and say, hello, hi, hello girl, hello boy, hello man. No, be polite. In fact, I have a well-crafted document with which I introduce myself. I tell you what I'm about. And when I do that, I wait for a response. It's two ways. I'm not sure anybody will be respected and not give back respect. Then also know when to approach people. I know Nancy. I can call Nancy at 12 a.m., 1 a.m. We have a connection. I can't do that 5 years ago. I don't have that. That is, you can't just don't because, oh, it's social media, just DM one at 5 a.m. or 1 a.m. No, you don't have that right. You need to understand timing. By the time you now walk your way into that space, of course, you can now have that. You may or you may not have that, but that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this: you need to know how to communicate. You need to know how to. Then again, you must also be a man or woman of value. You must communicate value. If people will want to be in your space, they want to see if. Now, let me say this. Nancy has built a position as an edu consultant for more than a decade. Now, if Nancy has not observed Ogaga, she will not just, if Ogaga was a criminal, I'm not sure Nancy will bring him on her show. Because if you put me in your show, it is even.
Oh, I just lost you now. I can't hear you at the moment. Hello. Waiting for the reconnection. Okay. All right, so let's continue.
Value. You must give value in any relationship you want to build. You must become a person of value. You must give value. Very important. Then again, apart from value and looking at the timing, you must also be a person that wants to contribute. Don't just be there because you want to use the person in quote, like we say in Nigeria. I want this person to shine. I want to use you. No, you should also understand that you are there to serve. So basically, I those will help you to build.
Okay, so thank you so much, Omoovie Ogaga. I like that part of bringing value and not using people, because some people think that networking is a way to use people to get to the top. And I'm very emphatic on the word use. In as much as networking brings a lot of benefits to you, you must always be ready to have something to give in the relationship. Okay, and for events, I see people take numbers of, maybe you go to speak at an event. Some people like the way you've spoken at that event, they connect with you, and the next thing they start sending you messages inbox. Oh, please, my rent is due. I have problems with my children's hospital bills. We get a lot of that, even in the group where I administer, the Educational Administration Network. Some of them think I'm a bit aloof. They do not understand that I carefully choose the people whose requests I respond to. Some people just meet you and they'll tell you, I want to be your mentor. I want you to be my mentor. Then they start asking for all the resources that they can get, and the next thing they disappear. That's not how to build a network. That's not how to contribute to a network. Okay, so for such a person, yes, you have a need, but how about just asking, I would really like to be mentored. And even if you're getting those materials, at least maintaining a good relationship with whoever it is you're trying to network with is very important. Another you mentioned, which is very important, is communication skills. Some people do not even know how to introduce themselves, to prospective people they want in their network. You get inbox and you see things like, hello, hi babe, hi there, how was your night? And then it ends there. You do not know what they are, you need to unmute. Okay, so you do not know what their intention is. They just greet you every day. They will send a hello, a hi. And if you are a busy person like I am, I get quite a whole lot of those. And it is always the ones that take the time to explain what it is they're looking for that I respond to. Because you can't spend all your time the whole day responding to hellos and highs and how was your night from people that you have never met, you know. So I think
Of
it's
course.
things such as, okay, my name is Nancy Ekwezu. I have been following your work online and I like what you do. I would like that I develop a relationship with you for the purpose of this, that. What do you think about it? Or, you know, or maybe these are my struggles. I've seen that you shared a video on so. Could you throw more light on this? And you'll be willing to share. But when someone comes online and they've never met you, and the first thing they do is to start telling you all the problems they have in their personal lives and how they need financial assistance, then it becomes difficult. Because if you get that from about 20 people, for example, in a week, then you're not going to share yourself amongst all these people, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Recently, and just a week ago, someone called me around 11 p.m. And for the first time, I lost it on the phone with someone because with this particular guy, I have never met him. He saw an advert for, I recruit for schools. And so there was this advert that I put out there. And then I think he got to know somebody that I had recruited for an organization. And then he got my number from the person because it was only my company name that was stated on that advert and the email address to send it to. So he managed to get my number, and then he called me around 11 p.m. He first sent a message online on WhatsApp, which I responded to. I didn't know who it was because I try to be polite to people. I'm generally not a rude person. But you know, I was just trying to get to sleep. And then this call came in. Hey, madam, I sent you a text on WhatsApp. I need a job. You need to help me get a job. I'm like, please? I'm not a recruitment. I don't run a recruitment agency. You didn't pay me any money. I don't know you from Adam. And I didn't know when I just said, oh, please, can I have peace this night? I need to rest. And for the first time, I didn't know when I just sounded not very polite that day because I'd had a really terribly busy day and I needed to unwind, you know, and just like rest and prepared to go to sleep. And then this call comes in with a very desperate request. I'm like, oh, please, you saw an email on the advert. You could have just sent an email. And if you had anything to explain, maybe that could have helped. But you sounded like, you know, I owed you anything. You didn't pay me to look for a job for you. I'm not a recruitment agency. I don't collect money from people for recruitment. So how could you have such an entitlement mentality as to think that you could go to someone and get my private line and then call me at 11 p.m.? Who does that? You know, for such a person, that's not very likely to get my attention, to be my inner circle, to be my network, because that put me off. You know, I've also got people send me messages, oh, I like what you do. Please send me a copy of your book. I need a copy. And they don't want to pay. They're asking you to give them a copy, to just give them free, you know. I think such things you could watch it because they sound more like maybe people that just want to grab in a relationship. I think if someone is asking maybe to buy a copy, that would be nice. But to just say, oh, give me a copy of your book, I've been following you, just send me a free copy. It's a lot to write a book, and no author wants to be throwing their books all over the place just because you follow them online. You know, so I like the part of people's skills as well, because sometimes even at networking events, people come, you know, trying to relate, and all they're trying to do is see what they can get right there. There's you know, that's there's an aura of you know, some kind of you know, grabbing. Yeah, just trying to get all I can from this relationship. So I want to warn that even when you have people in your network, it's a give and take thing. Even the people you there, you know, maybe they're influencers, the likes of Larry Olushola, the likes of Jimmy Terry, they also have needs. How about even asking them, would you like to have me post I saw that this post you have done, maybe it's not getting enough likes or enough attention. Can I help you repost it on a platform that might help you? And then networking too doesn't have to always aim at people that are above you. You can network with people that are on the same level with you. You should have set different people in your
Good.
network. You should have people that are up there that you look up to. You should have people at your own level that you can speak at the same level. And you should also network down to have people that you're trying to bring up. So it is not always
Right.
well, what can I get from those who have so-called arrived? Nobody has really arrived in any way. Everybody's always aspiring to be somewhere else.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so someone else's past or where they are is actually where you're aiming to be, and you want them in your network. There's a way to approach that. And then those who have the same level with you, there's also a way to approach that. And those who are coming behind, that you could also help to either mentor or coach or chip in a word or two that could be helpful in their career or professional journey. There's also a way to go about it. So it is not always about who is above you that you need to grab from. Always look out even for the ones under that you can also give something to.
Right.
So I like that part of people skills is very important, very, very important, because when people come across as very uncouth, that might put some people off. Okay, so for that guy who called me at 11 p.m., you can be sure that I actually blocked his line. And I usually do not do that because I'm a very patient person. But for someone to get on my nerves to the point where I just said, hey, what exactly is it? I don't owe you anything. I put out an advert. Why don't you apply? I've also got people tell me, oh, they want to take me out and just have a time with me to talk. And all they want is actually an avenue to tell me how they're interested in a job that I put out there. And I think those are not very nice ways to network, especially when you never met someone. The best thing to do, like you tried to develop a relationship with Carol Barlow and you sent a message, you were patient, and then you took the time to develop a relationship, which led to her eventually inviting you to Abuja to come and speak at her event. You know, so networking is not a one-off thing. You know, even when you have met people, you need to develop the skills to take the right skills to develop relationships with them to the point where they actually gain your trust. Okay, there's a lot. The trust factor is very important because nobody wants any person in their network who's always grabbing and very needy. You know,
Right.
so I think that's very important. Okay, so what advice would you give to anybody, any professional at all, when it comes to networking from your experience?
Okay, thank you so much, Nancy. I've learned from you today a lot. Listening to you has been worthwhile. The advice I would give to any professional that wants to network, I will take from what you just said. You should understand that networking can happen in 3 dimensions for those above you, those within your level, and of course, those that you can help. If you want to network, you must follow this simple advice. He that wants to have friends must show himself friendly. You must carry that friendly disposition. You want to network with either somebody up there or beneath you or in your category, you must show yourself friendly. You cannot say, I want to network and you sit on your own. You must reach out. You learn to reach out, but do it politely. Make sure you do to others what you want them to do to you. Understand simple ethics and etiquette. Understand when to approach people. You cannot just barge into a conversation. You see 2, 3 persons are discussing and they wait for your turn. You can stand waiting. The person will notice you. And when the person is done, you can excuse yourself and then you can have your turn to speak. Then again, like you also mentioned, you do not just go out there to grab. You should bring something to the table. Bring something. You can offer advice. You can choose. If you have writing skills, you can say, okay, are you writing a book currently? I will assist you in writing, or I could type for you. Do something. Or you're having an event, I could come volunteer. I do that a lot. I could come volunteer. You know, once people know that you are genuinely interested in them, they will also reciprocate that gesture. Thank you so much.
Okay, then I forgot to mention something. Networking doesn't have to mean you must see the person in person, the individuals.
Right.
There are people I've networked with in the virtual space. I may never even meet them, but we're doing amazing. We've developed relationships. Eventually, I've got to meet some of them in person, but there are a whole lot more that I've never met. And we've done lots of things together. We've spoken at each other's events virtually. We've exchanged books about, I'll send mine maybe through Conga Logistics. They send theirs through some other courier, whatever. But the issue is that we do have an ongoing relationship that is working, a professional arrangement, just because we met on the virtual space and we were able to bring level of social skills and etiquette to nurture the relationships to the point where we could trust one another with even private things later on, and even sending each other gifts on birthdays and things like that. But I've never met some of them. I've actually never met some of them. Some I've been able to meet maybe once or twice. Some I've never met. So whether in the social space, whether on social media, or whether it's on
one-on-one interaction.
Physically, it's the same skills you need. You need to just be polite. You need to have good communication skills, good people skills, and to know that you need to bring in value. Okay, so even on the internet, you can observe people who are always grabbing. Because when someone is like that, he's not going to hide whether they're on the internet or whether they're in person. Okay, so thank you so much for your time, Mr. Ogaga Omoovie. Do you have any events coming up? Or anything you want to say about your organization to let people know what you do?
Okay, for now, we don't have any events. We are closing for the year, and we want to take time to program for 2022 and beyond. At PMP Paradigms, we are a consulting organization. We provide restructuring services for organizations. So if you structure an organization, you want to start up a business, you want us to give you the basic structure to kick off, then we are your go-to person. You also want to recruit. We do not recruit every person who are into executive recruitment. You want a school leader, you want a manager, you want a head of or you want managerial staff, then we are your go-to person. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. I've had a great time having you on this show, Ogaga Omoovie. Keep up the good work you're doing in Benin City, and we look forward to things together later on. You're already in our space in Lagos, and it will always be a delight to have you at events here in Lagos, in Abuja, or even anywhere. So remember to visit my website, www.nancyekpezu.com. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, this is the time to do it right away. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Nancy Ekpezu, for content on school administration, workplace administration, and management, and sometimes on personal development. So until I come your way again in the Administration with Nancy show, keep being good. Remember to network professionally the right way, and see you in the next episode.